Hey, how's it going, people? Bit of a quick video, just let loose, let the shit out. Basically had this fun idea. Well, I didn't have. I was inspired um, by a couple of Pixar and Disney artists that I saw, just having this kind of drawing journal. Like doing at least a little sketch, maybe a bit of color of what they were doing every day or events that were happening to them every day. So as you saw on Instagram, I started, just started picking it up around end May, end March, beginning April. So, and that kind of helps me with basically getting some focus or trying to get back into the flow of things. So right now, since I basically do not have my optimal equipment, but I am saving up for it, as you saw in the previous picture. I I'm down to using newsprint and 8B plus 10B. So basically, the whole inspiration of this day's sketch is basically pulling out the 10B and the 8B pencils. Right now, I'm using a Derwent oily 8B pencil, and I'm gonna be switching in the Mitsubishi 10B pencil box set that I've ordered back at the point where I still had, at least 500 sheets of that sweet Ingram animation paper. But hell, I still have like maybe 30 sheets, and you know how you get when you're just holding to it like a precious treasure, and you're only using it for specific commissions. Like that paranoiac little Sailor Moon episode. You all watch that one with the pencils, and you're just holding it, and you don't want to use it. And then the Negaverse. Anyway, all those references are just coming out into a single instance of paranoia. But do not worry, I am saving up a special budget to at least attempt to order this paper at the middle of the month. So when it comes to the current ongoing contracts that I have, and keeping it balanced, so far there's a part of that that's going to go into that specific budget. At the same time, I had time to do a breakdown of the little thing I'm trying to do with wait, no revealing that some people already know. So something that kind of came up, and I'm splicing it up with this video as well, is just being able to break down things or break down bigger tasks into smaller tasks. Here, the basic breakdown was done at the beginning, just trying to get the overall flow of it all, trying to get the overall shapes, and trying to, make it look to myself as if it's not that big to do. Of course, one thing I'll have to redo, or one thing I'll have to keep in check, is basically raising the camera a tad bit higher. But that's all that is for next time. Next video, I'm moving a couple of things in the apartment, so that's gonna be part of the next plan. Yet, again, this is basically just trying. At the beginning, I was just trying to set up the overall idea of the drawing before going at it with the lines that you are able to see right now. And when you think about it, the same kind of process goes when you're going to try to do different kind of tasks or different kind of projects. Having the overall kind of overall idea laid out, and then going into the smaller tasks. Like right now, okay, for the thing I'm preparing for you guys, I broke down first the arc or overall general storyline, plus then the next task is going to be thumbnailing things that are going to happen, thumbnailing the overall flow of that quote-unquote episode, and then what happens next. Then I get to sketching the assets, doing the assets, then scanning, and trying to break it down into smaller pieces so that it doesn't give out that feeling of holy shit, this is too huge. So when it comes to creating or working on big projects, hell, I even have a couple of things I want to set up for extra stage, and now after going through that breakdown process, it doesn't look that big. I just need to set myself either specific date or specific time of the day to get things going. And when I really look at the time that it may take, it's like, well, hey, that's much simpler. So much easier to take care of. This sketch on its own, it's simple, and now that I look back at it, maybe I would want to change the position, maybe crouch a bit more, but that's why, at least doing these quick experiments, you live, you learn, and you're like, okay, well, next time I'll try something else. On this one, as you see me with the Mitsubishi 10B, when it comes to the closest lines or lines I wanted to put closer, I went over it with a darker line. Something that I'll do next time is basically maybe push the perspective even further. So having the pencils much closer to the screen, quote unquote, to the camera, by basically having a better grasp on the cylinders or making better cylinders, quick cylinders instead of doing the technique that I use where I gave myself an end point and then tried to connect the dots, which is not too bad at times, yet when it comes to using perspective, it may not be the best thing. But hey, that's why little sketches like that, little experiments are to be done. The more mileage you get out of it and then look back at it, the more you get to learn. You get bumps in the road, sure, that happens. That's part of the business. At the same time, I did want to bend or crouch my character a bit more just to get into the Kratos vibe. And that's an interesting thing I'll have to dive into, where I got a mix between keeping things simple, but at least trying to bend in structure, the pillow structure and all that. It's been maybe 4 quick sketches that I've done like that, where I just wanted to get the shape out, and now I can see, okay, well, let's try to blend in a bit more of the animation pillow type of tech and see where that goes. At the same time, I did not really like the spaghetti arm, but the difficult thing I seem to have to go with is basically imagining the previous positions of an animation or of a movement to then lock them in. So again, more stuff I'll have to take note on, or I already have some notes. I just need to get into that flow of things, and this is where warming up with the gestures, trying to get back into that more than twice a week. Now I kind of want to push that into at least doing a 30-minute gesture every morning. So warming up like that would have got me into that mode sooner. This was a sketch that I did after working or finalizing one of the contracts lines, finalizing one of their concept. Where so waking up in the morning, finalizing something is not something I should do. I should just reposition that into, okay, I'm gonna wake up and do some gesture and then go into the client's work. Oh well, more notes to take care of. There's always this weird urgency, well, weird but needed urgency to give the client some updates on their task. But this is where I'm gonna have to balance time or just make a better schedule. Here you see me trying to add some white to it, some Prismacolor white pencil I have, and it's just an attempt. I know I had, let me check the other one. I know I had a Derwent. No, wait, it's a pastel that I wanted to try. I do not think I did. I think I got caught up with the Prismacolor white, and if I look back at it without the light on it, it doesn't even show up. So, well, I do have to admit that this specific newsprint paper is not that brown. When I look back at it, It's odd. Like the white barely shows up on it, so I imagine if I try it right now off camera, because this is kind of sped up from 16 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. The pit would have shown a tad bit more. Yet I do think that this paper is not the best for this kind of effect. No, wait, pit would have worked. So pastel, the pit pastel soft would have worked. Would have gave me a much more, how do you say, a outstanding white color. Much better. Here's where I tried. Oh, well, before you saw me trying to do a stupid move, adding white on gray, on graphite. And then I'm like, wait a second, I've got a mechanical eraser. So basically just pulled it out of my bag and started doing, started erasing on top of the lead, the lead that I've added, just to add some highlight to it, you know. It's a small little thing. I love that mechanical eraser. It's just great. If you manage to get one, a Derwent one, they're not that expensive. I think they're $10, and you get a heckload of eraser nibs for it. You'll only need to take care of AAA batteries, but aside from that, you can easily find that, then go get it. It's quite useful. You can do some small highlights. It's a very effective erasing, you know, any kind of pencil, unless you go into the very, very hard H, then that's your own fault. Or you really apply on the hard H, but Derwent mechanical or electric eraser, very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. So, a couple of experiments here and there. Now I know the kind of training I want to set up in the morning before I do these kind of sketches. Now I know I want to use the pit pastel pencil to add some white highlight on this newsprint, and I am setting up a budget for that animation paper, at least 1,000 sheet, and if I can 1,500, because honestly it got me into beast mode. If you want to see where I've been using it, look at the Let It Go picture that I did, the Tarzan picture that I did, the animal type pictures that I did before. The time lapse should be around early this year, and I might try to put some annotations to it, but you know me and annotations, right? Often forgotten because I just jump back into work and let this thing upload. My bad, alright, my bad. But hey, more sketches coming up, and I will give you guys some updates on what's happening with the little videos I'm setting up. Also, I want to see if I can change the color. You know, you'll see what I mean. Like, look at the final picture, and this is the actual color of the scanned drawing. So I'm gonna have to check that camera color. Anyway, thank you guys for this. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. But there will be more either way. See you later, guys, and thanks again.